Across Earth's surface are vast circular scars, visible from satellites but barely understood on the ground. Some were formed in seconds, others over thousands of years. Yet all became containers holding extinction evidence, human remains, lost settlements, and material wealth. Scientists, miners, and governments have all entered these craters expecting geology and instead found history. Don't look away, because each crater hides a different kind of secret, and the last one changes what we think was ever meant to be found. 1. Chicxulub. Chicxulub crater lies buried beneath Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula, stretching nearly 180 kilometers wide. Discovered through gravity anomalies in the late 20th century, it contains iridium layers, shocked quartz, and melted rock tied to the mass extinction 66 million years ago. Drill cores revealed chaotic debris and fossil records that abruptly stop. Entire species vanished inside this geological wound. What looks invisible from the surface holds the clearest record of global death ever found. And the next crater shows what happens when humans move in afterward. 2. Ngorongoro. Ngorongoro crater formed when a massive volcano collapsed over 2 million years ago, creating a natural enclosure 260 square kilometers wide. Inside, archaeologists found stone tools, animal bones, and evidence of early human activity layered alongside wildlife remains. Maasai oral history places generations within the rim. Bodies of animals accumulate naturally, turning the crater floor into a living archive of death and survival. This place blends human history with natural burial, and it leads to a crater where death arrived instantly. 3. Barringer. Barringer crater formed around 50,000 years ago when a nickel-iron meteor struck at high speed. Early miners believed vast iron treasure lay beneath an attempted excavation in the early 1900s. Instead, they found fragmented meteorite shards scattered across the desert. Human remains were absent, but the crater preserved physical proof of violent impact. The failed mining efforts left scars of their own, and this mix of expectation and loss sets up a crater where human bodies truly were found. 4. Lonar. Lonar crater formed by a meteor impact into basalt rock roughly 50,000 years ago. Its alkaline lake preserves organic matter unusually well. Archaeological surveys around the rim uncovered ancient temples, human remains, and habitation layers dating back over 1,000 years. In recent decades, unexplained mass animal deaths have occurred within the lake. The crater holds both religious history and biological mystery, and its chemical isolation hints at preservation beyond normal limits, preparing us for a crater defined by scale alone. 5. Vredefort. Vredefort crater spans over 300 kilometers, making it the largest confirmed impact structure on Earth. Formed 2 billion years ago, erosion erased its walls but left twisted rock formations. Gold-rich deposits in surrounding regions owe their accessibility partly to this ancient impact. Human mining history intersects directly with cosmic violence here. While bodies are not preserved, wealth extraction reshaped entire civilizations, and that connection between impact and riches leads directly to a crater where isolation hid human death. 6. Kara-Kul. Kara-Kul crater sits over 4,000 meters above sea level, filled with dark water and surrounded by empty terrain. Soviet-era studies confirmed its impact origin. Expeditions reported abandoned settlements nearby, with little documentation explaining why people left. Human remains were sparse, but absence itself became the mystery. The crater's isolation preserved unanswered questions rather than artifacts, and it prepares us for a crater where bodies were never meant to disappear. 7. Kaali. Kaali crater is a cluster of meteor craters formed around 3,500 years ago. Archaeologists uncovered burned bones, weapons, and evidence of ritual activity nearby. Legends described fire falling from the sky, later matched by geological dating. The crater became a site of worship and sacrifice. Human remains found here were intentional, not accidental, marking one of the clearest intersections of impact and belief. And it leads to a crater where belief gave way to secrecy. 8. Pingualuit. Pingualuit crater contains one of the purest freshwater lakes on Earth. Formed 1.4 million years ago, its isolation preserved undisturbed sediment layers. No bodies, no settlements, only climate records locked in time. Scientists drilled cores revealing atmospheric history, stretching back millennia. The absence of human interference makes this crater unsettling in a different way, and that emptiness contrasts sharply with the final crater, where human disappearance remains unresolved.